or fishing sinkers, what you do is light a torch on fire. Melt some pine resin. And you just take a pinch of sand and you mix it into the pine sap once it's melted. So you just take your melted pine sap and put a nice pinch of sand in it. Stir it in real good, just like that. You tie a loop on your fishing line, and while it's still warm and workable, you bury your fishing line in it. And once that cools off, you can see you got a nice sinker for your fishing line. And when the clarified pine resin hardens with sand in it like that, it's almost as hard as concrete, and it has a lot of other uses than for just a fish sinker. And you can use it for anything. You need a really hard substance like concrete. If you can get enough pine sap and you got sand, well, you got a substance that's very much like concrete. So that's some really good stuff, and really good technique to know. And another comment I'd like to make about pine resin and clarifying pine resin is, once you've boiled it, you boiled all the turpentine out of it, it's no longer sticky. It's like varnish. You can stick it right to whatever you touch it to. It's not sticky anymore. It's just like varnish. Yeah, pine pitch has a lot of uses, especially for making tools like this pair of tongs here, for picking up hot rocks and stuff like that. And of course, you can make arrowheads. You can fix bone knife blades to a wooden haft or whatever, just whatever you need. And you can use it like varnish if you need to preserve a piece of wood and you don't have varnish or whatever. Just melt some pine sap and paint it with pine sap, and it'll coat it and protect it just like any other varnish would. And if the pine sap you're fixing to go and collect is really runny or really sticky and not more solidified like the stuff I found earlier, what you can do is take a leaf or a piece of bark or something like that, and just spin it around into a cone like that. You spin it up into a cone, and put a stick to it like that, and you've got a nice cone to put your soft pine sap in, so you don't get it all over your fingers. And of course, you can use another small stick to scrape it off the tree and fill your cone with, so you don't get the pine sap all over your fingers. If you don't have shells or anything to melt your pine sap in, what you can do is just light it on fire on top of a piece of wood, and it'll drizzle down the piece of wood and clarify, and all the material that you don't want, the bugs and the pieces of bark and the pine needles and all that stuff, will stay in a lump where the fire is, and you can see the clarified pine sap will run right down the piece of wood. So if you don't have a vessel to boil it in or whatever, you can just light it and let it run down a piece of wood, and when you get a sufficient amount of it, you can just blow it out. You see? Then you can just get your pine sap up and use it. So pretty simple, nothing difficult about that. And this is wonderful stuff, and I use it quite a bit. Now that you know how to clarify pine pitch and make some simple tools, I'm going to show you how to use pine pitch to make a waterproof sealant and also make some chewing gum. So in the next half hour, I'm sure you'll be looking forward to that because I got some interesting